And we're live.
All right, we're back in the fabulous Al Hardy Studios to do a show. Here's a little background music for us as we let people join on. I'm going to share this to your page, Al. Rewind, Nostalgia, and Podcast page.
That's right.
How you been, Al? I missed you.
They got a new thing that says share to groups. You can share right there. See? And we're live.
Yeah. All right, we're back. I got it. You know what that music's from, right, Al?
Yeah. Did you share it to the rewind?
I'm trying.
I can do it right here. Look, I'll just do it.
I got it, man. I'm sharing it right now to your rewind page. Hang on. You like this music?
I do.
Elevator music. No, Price is Right. Hang on, I'm just typing a little subject line. We'll start the actual program in a moment, folks. We got a cool topic today. I'm really excited about today's show and the fabulous Al Hardy Studios.
I don't know about fabulous, but you know, we're here. Let's see.
What you been doing to stay busy? Didn't you get a brand new movie screen in your home theater downstairs, Al?
I did.
You replaced a screen you've had for 30 years plus.
Almost 32 years. Yeah, I replaced it.
And what else did you get?
But I did it.
You got a brand new movie projector?
I haven't even set it up yet. Yep.
But you got a hell of a deal on both.
I did.
Are we allowed to say where you got your movie screen from? Here in Atlanta, Georgia area?
Got it from Cinevision Corporation. My buddy Steve over there. Great guy. I've known him.
How long?
About 40 years, something like that.
And our mutual new buddy, Barry King of BK on the Air, he knows Steve. Of course, you've known him a lot longer than Barry has.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's from Alabama originally, and you've been here. Well, you're from Wilmington, North Carolina, but you've
That's
been
right.
here.
I've been here since 1977.
Wow. And that's when you met Bill Tush
That's
at
right.
Turner when you were working there.
That's right.
Michael
That is
Hopkins
true.
is tuned in. Hello, Michael. He says, time for the Pod Blast.
I wonder how much weight he's lost.
Yeah, he's on a system called it's a program called the Quick Weight Loss Center
Yeah.
program. I don't want to reveal our topic just yet. We sort of teased it on our Facebook page. We'll get to it in just a second, folks. I'm just letting some folks join. Al, what else is new, man? Come on, you fill me in. I haven't seen you in a while.
Just doing some housework, you know, having some wood trim replaced. Had my deck pressure washed, going to get it stained, you know.
And who's doing that work for you? Someone in the Atlanta, Georgia broadcasting community that's well known.
My buddy Matt Dorr.
Matt Dorr, who did the traffic on 106.7 and Rock 100.5 and Q 99.7, formerly Q100.
Have you finished sharing everything over there?
Yeah, Michael Hopkins says your sound is very distorted. Oh, that was in the beginning. That was because of me. I had the sound up.
Oh. It could be. I don't know.
Damn.
Let me check.
Just waiting for a few more folks to join, y'all, and we'll get rolling.
Let me check.
Yeah. All right, good. How does it sound now, Michael? Comment and let us know. Okay, we better get started here. Let me just All right, I'll take that music out. Just a second. All right. Let me fade this out. Dig that flute, huh?
It's not going to get dinged. That's not going to get dinged, is it?
No. It's all cleared. I've cleared all the clips today. All right, we're ready to get started. Let me know when you're ready to record and do our theme, and we'll get going.
All right, Chance. What time is it?
It's PodBlast time.
It's been a long time since I've done this.
Yeah.
I might screw it all up.
No, you won't. You're fine.
Yeah, I might.
We just had a nice lunch at China Moon here in the Atlanta, Georgia area. It's wonderful Chinese food. Stuffed. Sorry, Michael. I know you're on a diet out there. I see Michael Hopkins is watching. Our friend and listener pal.
Yeah. I guess his diet's going pretty good. Isn't it, Michael? I guess it is.
Yeah, let's give him a free plug for the Quick Weight Loss Centers. It's a program. It's not a diet.
All right, Chance, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, I'll give you a hint. Am I potted up, sir?
Yes, you are.
Here's a hint.
Hello, I'm Mr. Red. A horse is a horse, of course, and no one can talk to a horse, of course. That is, of course, unless the horse is the famous Mr. Ed.
So we're going to talk about horses today?
Famous animals in film and TV, including some horses.
I know. But there was a lot of them. There's a lot of animals in movies. Mostly dogs were in, there was very few cats. There was a famous cat called Cat. And do you remember what movie that's from?
The Cat from Outer Space?
No. It was a Blake Edwards movie, Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Oh, of course.
And they had a cat. She had a cat, and they called him Cat.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I forgot all about that.
His famous cat.
And we're not talking about animated. We're just talking about live action, living
animals, yeah.
Breathing animals.
But that's the only cat that I'm sure there are other cats that was in movies.
Oh, yeah. There were some. Like I said, The Cat from Outer Space is one.
Right.
There's some. But you're right. There's mostly dogs and horses. And I was going to try to keep this categorized, but then in our pre-show meeting, you said, we don't need to do that. We can jump around a little bit. But I had originally categorized this into different types of animals. And I was going to start, well, why don't we talk about one of your favorite movies that has a really wicked witch in it?
Oh, well, The Wizard of Oz.
That's right. And
Toto, the dog.
And you had an interesting fact about Toto.
Well, the group Toto was named after. They got their name from that movie,
I did not know that.
But Toto was in that classic movie, The Wizard of Oz, with Judy Garland. Don't you have a clip from that?
I do. And here we go. This is from
Toto.
1939's The Wizard of Oz, the classic.
That dog's a menace to the community. I'm taking him to the sheriff and make sure he's destroyed.
Destroyed? Toto? Oh, you can't. You mustn't. Auntie Em, Uncle Henry, you won't let her, will you?
Of course we won't. What are we in?
Please, Aunt Em. Toto didn't mean to. He didn't know he was doing anything wrong. I'm the one that ought to be punished. I let him go in her garden. You can send me to bed without supper.
If you don't hand over that dog, I'll bring a damn suit that'll take your whole farm. There's a law protecting folks against dogs that bite.
How would it be if she keeps him tied up? He's really gentle. With gentle people, that is.
Well, that's for the sheriff to decide. Here's his order allowing me to take him. Unless you want to go against the law.
Auntie Em, Uncle Henry,
I'm afraid poor Toto will have to go.
Now you're seeing reason.
What did you
Here's
do?
what I'm taking him in. So he can't attack me again.
Oh, no, I won't let you take him. You go away. Oh, I'll bite you myself.
Dorothy.
You wicked old witch. Uncle Henry, Auntie Em, don't let him take Toto. Don't let her take him, please.
Let me have
Stop her.
Put him in the basket, Henry.
Oh,
The idea.
oh, Uncle Henry. Oh, Toto.
Poor Toto.
I know.
When that movie came out, it was a flop.
I didn't know that.
No, it didn't do well
Just
at all.
because you own half the county doesn't mean you have the power to run the rest of us.
It's almost over.
For 23 years, I've been dying to tell you what I thought of you. And now, well, being a Christian woman, I can't say it.
There you go.
Toto.
Yeah.
But yeah, when that movie came out, it didn't do well at the box office. It only over the years and years and years did it become really popular. People just didn't get it.
So it was a sleeper.
Yes.
Wow.
But it was shot in Technicolor, and it's a beautiful movie to watch.
Well, let me ask you this. Was it a thing that was discovered in reruns? Like once it hit television, is that when it became popular, or did it get rerun in cinemas first and gain popularity?
It runs in retro cinemas occasionally, but television really brought it to light back in the day. But yeah, it wasn't a big hit when it came out. But I liked the movie all right.
Well, I'll be doggone.
But who played the Wicked Witch? I can't remember her
Margaret
name.
Hamilton.
Yeah, she was great.
And she went on to do a lot of TV roles, including the maid on the Patty Duke Show in season 1.
That's right.
She was the
did
maid.
Yeah. So I like the movie all right, So but yeah, that was a famous dog, Toto.
The same year Gone with the Wind was released.
Yes.
1939.
Yes, yeah.
And there's a funny movie called Under the Rainbow. We're digressing a little bit, but it was a comedy with Chevy Chase and Carrie Fisher, released in
Yeah, it was
1979.
kind of a flop too. I remember that.
But
movie.
it was funny. I thought when I was a little kid, I saw it in the theater. It was hilarious. It was about the filming of The Wizard of Oz with the little people.
Right.
Billy Barty was in it.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny as hell. There was a sad scene though where a dog jumps out a window, "Wah," and you hear him fall. It was like done in a comedic way, but I mean, even as a kid, I was like, "Oh, that's so sad."
Well, there are lots of famous dogs in movies, and Toto was one. I guess probably one of the most famous dogs was the Collie Lassie.
Oh yes, and I have a clip.
Well, he appeared in Lassie Come Home with Elizabeth Taylor in 1943, I think, is when that movie came out. I'm talking about not the TV show, but this is the movie, Lassie Come Home.
I didn't know it was based on a movie.
Yes.
This is new information
with,
for me.
Elizabeth Taylor was in it, 1943, MGM picture.
Now, who was Liz Taylor playing? Was she playing the June Lockhart role of the mom, or what?
She was a young girl. She owned Lassie. Wasn't
Oh yeah, of course she was a little kid. Of course,
yeah, she was a little kid.
Of course, I'm not thinking.
Just
that.
like Timmy and Jeff in the TV series, they were the kids in the that had the dog Lassie.
Well, I have a little clip. That, I don't know how the audio
Lassie
is.
was a famous dog.
Listen to this, y'all.
Starring June Lockhart, Hugh Riley, John Provost as Timmy, and, of course, Lassie.
There you have it, Lassie.
Well, I like Lassie, the TV show. When Jeff played the kid.
Right, later.
He was later on, in the later series. But I like those shows. To me, were better written. They were more. I don't know. I just liked them better as a kid watching those.
Look at my little Bible here of TV shows and look up how long it ran, because it ran in the 70s in color, in the 50s, and
now I've never seen a color episode. I think they were, but I always just remember the black and white TV shows.
And see, I'm the opposite. I remember the color ones. Let's see here, Lassie. 1954 to 1971. That's a long run. No one talks about
the guy
that.
that owned Lassie I think his last name was Weatherack or something like that. He owned Lassie, and he had his own production company.
Well, check this.
Weatherack
Oh, he did? A production company?
Mm-hmm.
Well, check this out. It started September 1954 through June 55 on CBS Sunday nights from 7 to 7:30, and then from September 55 all the way to September 71 on CBS from 7 to 7:30. Okay, so the same time slot. I don't know why it's separated like this. And then it was in first run syndication in the fall of 71 to fall of 74. And
I
those
just
were new
remember it in
productions.
syndication. I don't remember it on the network. I guess I was too young to watch it, but I used to watch it in syndication. And the local TV station I didn't work at the time in North Carolina, they ran it in the afternoons. I think it ran like at 4:30, from 4:30 to 5. But I used to watch it in the afternoons.
But the biggest Hollywood secret about Lassie really has a penis.
Well, Lassie
It's
was a male dog. That's correct.
It's not a female at all.
No.
Now, there's another famous dog around that era, and you have some interesting facts about this character and show, The Adventures of Rin Tin Tin.
Well, Rin Tin Tin first appeared in 1923 in a movie, and then either the TV series that starred Rusty, the kid, came along later after the movie. But Rin Tin Tin has been around for a long time. before the TV series.
And the sad thing is that the child actor just passed away recently here in April 20.
Was it 13th? Was it
April 13th, I believe.
Yeah.
2021. We're about to go into May 2021.
Yeah, he played Rusty. Yes.
And here's a little clip, if I'm potted up, of the theme of the Adventures of Rin Tin Tin.
That was a good show. I used to watch it all the time as a kid.
So brave is Corporal Rusty, though he is just a boy. How true is Private Rin Tin Tin, they are the Army's pride and joy. You're ready, pass through thick and thin. From all the tales of the West, we'll remember best Corporal Rusty and Private Rin Tin Tin. You're ready, pass through thick and thin. From all the tales of the West, we'll remember best Corporal Rusty and Private Rin Tin Tin.
Brings back memories as a kid.
That's pretty sweet.
That was way before your time, though. But I remember watching that in the afternoons.
Got some facts here about Rin Tin Tin real briefly from my Bible.
It was a German Shepherd. I believe it was a German Shepherd dog.
Yes, that's right. The Complete Directory to Primetime Network TV Shows, 1946 to present, which at that time was 1988.
Right.
But let's see, it started, the first telecast was October 15th, way back in 1954. The last telecast was August 28th, 1959. Rusty was played by Lee Aker, who just passed away.
Right.
And it had James Brown, not the James Brown, Godfather of Soul, but James Brown played Lieutenant Rip Masters, and it had Joe Sawyer in the cast and Rand Brooks. And then it was syndicated later as Rin Tin Tin.
Yeah.
Not Adventures of Rin Tin Tin.
No, but it was, I watched it, of course, in the afternoons. Like, all those shows were a staple on syndication back when I was growing up.
So there were other dogs too and shows. We'll just do a quick mention of one, Tramp and My Three Sons. That was the family dog.
I don't remember that dog. I didn't. I like My Three Sons okay, but I didn't watch it a lot. But I don't remember the dog. The dog was not a big part of the shows.
He was in the beginning, actually.
Yes,
because Chip Douglas was good. That he and Tramp were buddies. That was pretty much his dog. Of all the three sons, that was Chip's dog.
Oh.
And he was featured early. He was kind of like the dog in Shaggy DA, which Fred McMurray, star of My Three Sons, had starred in a Disney movie. It was a similar looking dog.
Well, no, the first, that was the Shaggy Dog.
Shaggy Dog. I keep saying Shaggy DA.
Yes, Shaggy Dog, yes. A black and white movie. I remember seeing that in the theater as a kid. But I don't remember the dog from My Three Sons.
My Three Sons?
Yeah.
And
I just don't remember it.
Another one you may not remember. I know you're not a big fan of the Patty Duke show, but in the beginning, it was one of those situations where they had a dog that just disappeared as the show went on. There was a dog named Tiger, kind of like the dog.
I don't remember that either.
Tiger in the Brady Bunch after Patty Duke show. Here's a quick, literally 10 seconds of a mention of Tiger the dog in season 1 of the Patty Duke show. This is the first episode ever filmed after the pilot of the Patty Duke show. Here it is.
Hello, Tiger. Well, at least you love me. Henry, you just...
That's all. I just wanted to have a little quick mention of Tiger. And then here's Tiger and the Brady Bunch. Another brief little mention from an episode of the Brady Bunch.
So the Brady Bunch had the same name.
Same name, and the dog looked the same too. It could have been the same dog. I tried to research that.
I couldn't. The same dog.
Well, Patty Duke ended in 65. Brady Bunch started, the pilot in 68, started as a series in 69, so it could have still been alive. I don't know. Probably not the same, though, but same name. So here's Tiger and the Brady Bunch.
Oh, hi, Steve. You what? You saw a tiger? Where? Hold on. Hey, everyone, Steve saw a tiger. Steve saw a tiger. You sure it was Tiger, Steve? Well, what did you do after you called him? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And then what? Where'd he go? Thanks. Thanks a lot, Steve. Well, what happened?
Where'd he go? What'd he say?
That was Steve Miller. He saw a tiger over by Plummer and Verdun.
Oh, boy, and Steve knows Tiger.
Sure, he's seen him lots of times. And then he called him and Tiger stopped. And then when Steve went near him, he ran away.
Oh. No, that's okay. Listen, I'll take the kids and their bicycles with me in the station wagon, and we'll scout the area and see if we can find him, okay?
Good idea.
Come on.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So There's mention of Tiger and the Brady Bunch.
Oh, yeah. I watched the Partridge Family. I don't think they had a dog. I never watched the Brady Bunch all that much. They were okay.
The dog was even in the pilot because it chased their cat. The girls had a cat. The boys had a dog. It was a blended family, as everybody knows.
Yeah.
And the dog chased the cat in the wedding in the very first episode in pilot, and it wrecks the wedding cake, and everyone laughs and falls in the cake and gets frosting all over their face.
One dog that I remember so well from the movies was Benji.
You read my mind. Tell us about Benji.
Benji was around from 1974 in the movies until 2004. I guess it can't be the same dog.
No, and there's a new Netflix show, Benji, started in 2018.
Well, Benji,
he's back.
The names of dogs really means a lot, and Benji just stuck. It's a name that everybody remembers. Benji. I mean, they would remember Tiger, but they will remember Benji. The name of a dog really stands out, and so Benji had that famous name.
And they recently remastered the original movie from 1974. I'm just going to play a little bit of the trailer, if you'll allow me, Al. Here's some of the trailer for the re-release of Benji.
Benji, the Oscar-nominated canine classic that redefined family films, restored in high definition for the first time in its original widescreen format. Told from the heart and soul of America's favorite dog. With remastered audio featuring Benji's theme song, I Feel Love.
I feel love.
Joe Camp's original movie that catapulted Benji, America's favorite acting dog, into international stardom.
Like a promise, like a song.
Benji.
And it's sweet.
The family film that started it
Like
all.
I knew everywhere I go,
Joe Camp's original classic,
shining down.
completely remastered in high definition and widescreen format.
I feel love.
I think I saw the first few in the theater. I liked the movies okay, but I didn't see all of them. The first couple I think I saw in the movie theater.
Well, we got quite a few Facebook comments. I didn't see any in the theater. I saw them on HBO.
Yeah.
I laid it out after the fact. But it was a big hit series of movies, a big franchise.
If anybody wants to call in.
Yes. Oh, God, I did it again. Sorry, guy. I'm messing up today.
No.
You were saying?
But if you want to, if people want to call in, it can call. 678-615-7560. But any Facebook comments?
Yes. Let's see. Barry King, our friend Barry King, says the Partridge Family had a dog. Danny Bonaducci. Laugh out loud. Just kidding.
That's pretty funny.
It is funny. Michael Hopkins, again, he asked what the phone number is, which you just gave out, but it's right in the subject line, folks. If anyone is watching on Facebook right now,
678-615-7560.
That's right.
Yes,
678-615-7560. Now, Joseph McSorley says Trigger from Roy Rogers, and that's on my list. Actually, I have a little song that Roy had written for Trigger. Let me find that real quick. I was going to play that, but again, it doesn't matter if we got to order Al. It's funny, Al usually likes things in order, so I arranged everything.
We're talking about animals, so it really doesn't really matter if we go in order. Are we through talking about Mr. Ed? I have.
Well, no, we can keep talking Mr. Ed.
I went to, back in my film collecting days, Atlanta had a lot of film festivals. I used to go to them, and Alan Young, who was in Mr. Ed, was at one of the film festivals because, he was in a famous sci-fi movie. You know what movie that was, don't you? Alan Young.
Yes, it was The Time Machine.
The Time Machine. But he was also, of course, in Mr. Ed, and he signed this 8x10 for me. Oh, we got a phone call. I'll show that,
Okay.
Yeah, let's see. Hello, who is this?
This is Michael.
Michael, how's that diet going?
It's going pretty well. I've lost 20 pounds so far.
20 pounds?
Woo!
I wouldn't recognize
my third week.
I haven't seen you in a while, so I wouldn't recognize you.
Yeah, well, I'm actually wearing pants now that I couldn't wear before, so...
You're wearing pants?
Are you enjoying the food that you're having to eat? I mean, do you like it?
Well, I have to cook it, and that's been a big part of... the program, they don't sell you any food. You have to cook it all, and they give you a list of what's approved in your diet.
Well, how long do you stay on this diet? As long as you want?
No, I signed a contract for 25 weeks, and I'll tell you off the air how much I'm losing. It's a lot.
Oh, is it costly?
Yeah, but it's worth it. You have counselors that are available, and they weigh you. I was weighing every day for the first 2 weeks, and now I'm down to 3 days a week. I have to go for a weigh-in. And if you, for some reason, stop losing weight, then they sit and they look at your diary. You have to keep a diary of glass of water and everything that goes in your mouth.
What did you start out as your weight, and then what are you at now? Can you say that?
Yeah. I started out at 278, and so now I'm down about 269.
No, that's not bad. That's great. That's great. Well, do you have, and we'll move on, do you have any kind of famous animals from movies or TV that stick out in your mind?
I heard you say the Partridge Family dog, and there was an actual dog in the first season, and his name was Simone.
Simone, what a great name for a dog.
There was no explanation for it, but after the first season, he disappeared.
Oh,
typical.
Simone, that's a great name for a dog. I like that name. It's unique. It's different. I just don't remember it. I don't remember.
You go back and look at the first season had 2 deletions. At the end of the season, Jeremy Gelbwax, who played Chris Partridge, was invited to leave, but
to leave.
And then they got rid of the dog. They decided to write the dog out of the scripts, and they didn't provide any explanation.
No. Well, like I said, I was telling Chance, I think there's, in TV and movies, there's more dogs that became part of the show over any other animal, I do believe. I remember dogs mostly in TVs and TV shows and movies.
The TV adaptation of Please Don't Eat the Daisies, they had an English sheepdog. I don't remember the name of it, but I don't know if you remember that TV series, Please Don't Eat the Daisies.
I do.
What was it?
Please Don't Eat the Daisies. I don't think the series lasted all that long, but I do remember the series. And but no, I mean, and speaking, I've always had dogs. I've never been fond of cats. I like them okay, as long as they stay outside.
Al. Say your line.
I never really cared for them. But, cats are fine. Some people have them in their homes. I couldn't have a cat in the house, but dogs, I don't mind. I could have dogs are no problem. You need a pet. You need a pet there, Michael.
Well, I've got pets, but I'm a cat owner.
Oh, well, no offense. I'm not a big cat lover. I like them. But I don't care for them so much.
I used to travel a lot. I used to fly a lot for business, and cats can be self-contained, whereas dogs you have to board and it gets expensive.
Well, when I never would board Sonny, but I used to board my other dogs. But if I go somewhere, I have friends that kind of look after them, come over and take care of them. I just don't like boarding pets. I don't think it's healthy for them, but that's just me. But
another animal I remember. I don't remember the animal's name, but Daktari had a chimpanzee, as I remember.
Yeah, Chance mentioned that. I just don't remember that. I remember the TV series, but I just don't remember.
I'll look it up. And I've never even seen one episode of that show.
Ronald Reagan had a chimpanzee in a movie.
Bonzo.
Yeah, I remember that.
Bedtime for Bonzo.
Yeah, Bedtime for Bonzo.
And then there was a TV series called Lancelot Link.
Lancelot Link.
And that was a Saturday morning TV series.
Was it a cartoon show?
No, it was live action.
It was live action.
It was live action.
Oh.
It was right around the time of the Banana Splits that type of stuff.
I like
And
the
it had, that was a good call, Michael. That was not on my list, and I know of it really well. Cool.
Yeah. I just don't remember that.
Let's see. I'm looking up the... All right, Tracy's Pets, a cross-eyed lion named Clarice and a chimpanzee named Judy.
Oh.
Were also popular characters on Daktari, based on a 1965 film, Clarice, the Cross-Eyed Lion, which also stars Thompson as Dr. Tracy and Miller as his daughter. Okay, there you have it.
Speaking of lion, you know, it reminds me of a movie that Jay North was in. And
Dennis the Menace?
Yeah, in a movie called Clarence
Zebra in the Kitchen.
Yeah, it was a Zebra in the Kitchen. You're absolutely right. I think the lion's name was Clarence, wasn't it? Zebra in the Kitchen.
I don't remember that, but I do remember that movie. I've seen it a few times.
Oh yeah, I saw it in the theaters, you know. But yeah, Jay North was in that movie.
And speaking of lions,
yeah,
do you remember a very prominent actor that was in a? I believe it was an MGM film. Do you remember?
What was the name of the movie?
Fluffy.
Fluffy?
Fluffy. It had Tony Randall in it.
I don't remember that one.
I don't remember that. I just don't remember that.
Let me look it up. Well, what about it? What stood out in your mind, Michael, about Fluffy? Was it a Disney movie?
It was a lion.
No, he said it was an MGM picture.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was. Now it may have been Columbia, but I just maybe I'm thinking that because MGM's got the lion that roars in the beginning of the
right.
But and that's a whole nother thing. I can't believe that they've switched it to a digital lion.
I know.
I don't like it. It opens up with the eye,
blasphemy.
the lion's eye. Then it I don't like it. They trashed it, in my opinion. If it isn't broke, don't fix it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Michael, do you remember the Black Stallion movie?
I do remember it. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I went and saw that in the theater.
Well, they had the Black Stallion and the Black Stallion Returns. There was a sequel to it. I saw the first one, but I didn't see the second one.
I didn't see the second one. I did see the first one, like Michael, in the theater, and it starred the kid from E.T. who went on to do E.T., the extraterrestrial, Henry, what's his name?
And then that also reminds me of that series Fury, that with the horse.
Story of a Horse and the Boy Who Loved Him. Yeah, I remember that.
Guys, I don't even know that. Tell me about it.
Well, you know who starred in that movie, don't you? Of that TV show?
Mm-mm.
One of the Arness brothers. James Arness. He was in Gunsmoke, and his brother played in Fury.
Peter Graves.
Peter Graves was in He was in Fury. He played the dad.
I have heard of that, actually. Yeah, okay.
Fury,
I never saw it,
The Horse and the Boy Who Loved Him. I think it was a spinoff from a movie.
Do we want to talk about, like, anyone watching on Facebook Live or on YouTube? There's a great movie poster behind me from Al's incredible movie poster collection. And what movie is that, Al?
Old Yeller. Remember that, Michael?
Yeah, I do remember that.
The Disney
that was a
movie?
pretty traumatizing movie for a child.
It was very traumatizing, and it starred Dorothy McGuire, Fess Parker, Chuck Connors was in it, and there you have an original poster that I've had in my collection for a long time. The movie came out in 1957, and I remember going to see that movie at the theaters from Walt Disney, and without giving it away, the dog, was a stray that they picked up and loved this dog, and what happened is the dog got rabies. And so Tommy Kirk played the kid, and, he had, this sounds terrible, but he had to shoot the dog at the end. It was very traumatizing. And of course, they really didn't kill the dog. The dog was quite well. He was an acting dog, but it was very traumatizing. I felt so bad after I saw that movie. I just cried.
I was going to ask you, did you cry?
Yes. I mean, 1957. I wasn't that old.
I admit it. I cried. We watched it in school in 16mm film when I was a little kid. That and Where the Fern Grows. Both those things just made me so sad.
Right.
Kind of like Dumbo, the cartoon.
But Disney was they made a lot of great movies, and Old Yeller was a very popular movie, and so but it was I can't watch it today. I wouldn't want to watch it even today, because the dog is so great, and then the dog gets sick, and then the dad was played by Fess Parker. He was going to actually take the dog, but the kid says, let me do it, because he was really his dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, no, it's a great movie. It really is. And but I just can't watch it again. But there you have the one sheet from
And the poster's in excellent condition, folks that are listening on fistfulofradio.com or on TuneIn or wherever you listen to your podcast. Check out our YouTube channel, The Nostalgic with a C Podblast, and you can see this poster. It's in excellent condition.
Well, the first job I ever had, I've mentioned it before here, I was a usher in a theater at 16 years old. I've always liked going to the movies. And so I just started collecting posters years and years and years and years ago, and that was one of them I got a long time ago, and I've never gotten rid of it. I don't think I have another one. That's why I kept it.
It's one of your first, would you say?
Well, not one of my first. I just, like I said, I've got a lot of movie posters with animals, but that one just stands out.
Well, it's got a sentimental attachment, to your heart and mind.
Yeah.
And you'll never sell that, will you?
No.
How much? I bet it's pretty valuable in this condition.
I have no idea what they go for, but anyway, that's an original one there from 1957. But it's like I said, I really liked the movie as a kid, but like I said, Michael, it really just tore me up.
Would you ever watch it again?
No.
You know what other Disney famous Disney movie had a cat in it? A Siamese cat?
The Cat from Outer Space?
No, That Darn Cat.
Oh, okay.
Darn Cat with Haley Mills.
Yeah, I have a poster for it. Actually, it's a 30 by 40.
I saw an interview with Juliet Mills and Haley Mills that they did in Australia a few years ago, and they were quizzing each other on which sister knew the sister better. And they had a question for Juliet Mills as to what the name of the cat was, and I don't believe she could remember it.
That Darn Cat. I have a poster for it.
It was Darn Cat. They called it DC in the movie for short.
Yeah. But it seems like they don't do a lot of movies or make a lot of movies or TV shows with animals that much. But I just remember them. Anytime you go see a movie with a dog in it, it's probably going to be good. And another famous dog, we're kind of moving ahead.
That's okay.
Remember Beethoven, Michael?
I do remember that series with the St. Bernard.
That's right. There was a scene in it where he's really dirty. He's been outside and he gets on the bed and he starts shaking, and you see they open their mouths and
Charles Grodin had great reactions with that.
I know. It's just like I think that came out around 1992. The Beethoven series. There were several of those movies, weren't there?
There were. The big successes at the box office. I remember them being in the late 80s, but I could be wrong. I'll look it up right now.
1992.
Okay, well, you know.
Well, I know they had at least 3.
I think the first one was around 1992, and I know they did Michael, I think they did at least 3 of them. And so, but they were funny movies.
1992. Yeah. You are correct. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think they... I liked it. In fact, I was worked in a theater as a projectionist, and we played that movie.
Dude, check this out, Al. You have Beethoven, 1992. Beethoven's Second, 1993. Beethoven's Third, 2000. Beethoven's Fourth, 2001. Beethoven's Fifth, Big Paw, 2003. Beethoven's Big Break, 2008. Beethoven's Christmas, 2011. And Beethoven's Treasure Tale, 2014. So talk about a franchise. I doubt those latter ones did much money. They might have been direct-to-home video. I don't know.
Well, the first dog that I remember, of course, was probably Old Yeller when I saw it in the theater. But it even movies go back further than that. Michael, do you remember a series films made by MGM called The Thin Man?
I remember
William Powell and Myrna Loy. Well, they had a dog, and it was a white fox terrier. And the dog's real name was Skippy. But in the movie, his name was Asta, A-S-T-A. And that first movie came out in 1934. And he was this fox terrier. And there were MGM pictures. And you see them occasionally on Turner Classic Movies or some of the cable channels. But that was a famous dog back in the 30s.
Well, speaking of dogs... I was answering a phone call when I heard the clip of Toto going from The Wizard of Oz.
Mm-hmm.
Did you all cover the actual real name of the dog?
I didn't look that up.
I know what it is. It's Terry.
Terry, okay. I like Toto better.
Judy Garland at one point got emotionally attached to the dog.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to see if they could purchase the dog from the owner, and the owner wouldn't give it up.
Oh. Well, that's a famous dog. I mean, and the group Toto came out, they named it after that. But yeah, that's, I didn't know that. But, like I said, Skippy was the name of the dog in the Thin Man movies, but they called him Asta in the movie. But his real name was Skippy. But, people that own these animals, they got a lot of money for their pets.
Toto, I think, made more than the Munchkins.
Right. Do you remember a movie that came out, I guess, probably 4 or 5 years ago, called The Artist? It was a black and white movie, and it was a silent movie, and they had a dog in it called Uggy. And the movie came out, I guess, about 4 years ago. You remember that, Michael? And
I remember the movie. I don't remember too much about it.
Well, the dog was the star, and the dog actually won a Palm Dog Award, and he was a famous. The dog made the whole movie. The whole it was silent. There was no dialogue in the movie, and it was all with just music. And it's called The Artist, and it won a lot of awards. And Uggy was a Parson Russell Terrier. He's a very talented dog, and the guy that owned the dog got a lot of money for use of that dog. He was well trained. He passed away in 2015, though. He was born in 2002 and passed away in 2015. We're back. Hang on a second.
The recorder ready? All right. So Comcast Xfinity does it again. Al's very frustrated.
It takes all the fun out of it.
Yeah, I can re-edit everything and put it back. All right, we are back, I see.
Takes all the fun out. Hang on a second.
Okay.
All right. All right, we're rolling. We're back. Let's see here. Michael's back.
Yeah.
Hello, who is this?
Hey, Al, it's me again.
I tell you what, I called without getting into a great detail. Let's just don't even talk about it.
Okay.
We're back. That's all that matters.
There you go.
Absolutely. I was going to say, I'm just not going to say anything.
Yeah.
And just act like we're continuing on. That's fine by me.
That's right. Now, I was going to ask you
a question about his cat. How old his cat is?
Yeah, how old is your cat?
Well, it's a brother and sister, and I'm terrible with math. I got them, I think they're 14. I got them in 2007.
Oh. What was that? Is that your computer?
No,
that was my phone dinging.
Oh, thank God. We thought we were going down again.
No.
Oh.
Well, anyone that's still out there, we apologize. Just had a technical glitch, but we are back. And
did you share the rewind page?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Okay.
So, Michael, what else you got going on in terms of favorite animals on film and TV? What other picks do you have? I'm sure they're on my list, but you might have some I don't have.
Well, actually, I hope this one is one that's not on either of your list. What about the killer whale in Free Willy?
It's not on my list. That's a good one.
I remember that.
I believe that was based on at least the first one.
I think it was based on a real whale, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because he was in a Mexican zoo or something, wasn't he, or something? I can't remember. They moved him or something. Something like that.
Now I remember Orca about the killer whale. It was kind of a rip-off of Jaws in the 70s, but that was a fake. That was like a electronic mammal. That wasn't a real one.
Yeah.
Richard Harris was in that, I believe. Orca, the movie.
Yeah, he was. But I saw that movie, I think, in the theaters, but I really didn't care for it all that much. There, the famous, Flipper. We had the dolphins,
and we're going to get to that. That's on my list. Yeah, I'm going to play a little bit of the musical theme to Flipper. That was one of my dad's favorite shows when he was.
I used to like that show as a kid. Flipper.
That's Michael's phone.
No, Michael, what are you doing over there?
I'm going to go ahead and slip out in case anybody else wants.
Yeah,
to
that's
call.
cool. Well, listen, thanks for calling, Michael, and checking back in, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, take care, guys.
Okay,
bye.
Well, I'm going to play a clip. Unless you have something, I'm going to play that song
No, I don't have anything.
Roy Rogers wrote for his beloved horse, Trigger. Listen to this. Am I potted up, my friend?
Let me see. Go ahead.
Here we are.
A four-legged friend, a four-legged friend, he'll never let you down. He's honest and faithful right up to the end, that wonderful 1, 2, 3, four-legged friend. A woman's like cactus and cactus can hurt, 'cause she's just a tight-waisted, winky-eyed flirt. She'll soon have your land and your pride and your gold, and bury you deep long before you grow old. A four-legged friend, a four-legged friend, he'll never let you down. He's honest and faithful right up to the end, that wonderful 1, 2, 3, four-legged friend.
What is that?
He's dancing like he's on Mexican jumping beans.
Oh.
Trigger. It's a little trick he's doing. There. So that is the song, the tribute song called
You know, it's
Four-Legged
funny.
Friend.
I watched some of those shows, but I was never a Roy Rogers fan. I never really cared for the show all that much.
Did you like Gene Autry?
I like Gene Autry okay. I have a movie with Gene Autry. It's a big western. What's it, you know? But I never I watched some of the Roy Rogers things, but I wasn't a big fan of it. You know, but Trigger. But another famous horse was from.
Oh, you read my mind. Say it. Say it.
You want me to say it?
Say it.
If it's
the Lone Ranger.
Yes.
The Lone Ranger.
You mean this one? Listen to this.
Listen.
The Lone Ranger.
Hi-yo, Silver!
A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty Hi-yo Silver. The Lone Ranger.
Hi-yo, Silver! Away!
With his faithful Indian companion Toto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early West. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Great. Isn't that great?
I was a big fan of the Lone Ranger. I really liked that show growing up and watching it.
1949 to 1957. And you know this, Al. What was that music originally from?
It was a Beethoven song, wasn't it?
The William Tell
Overture. William Tell Overture. That's correct. Yes. In fact, there was a song that came out. It was kind of a pop version of it that came out in the 70s, the William Tell Overture.
Oh, I remember that.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I have the 45. But I used to like the Lone Ranger. I watched that faithfully when it came on. And it was sponsored by Marita Bread.
Listen to you.
I remember.
Listen to you. That's cool, man.
Was a sponsor of the show. I think Marita Bread is still around. Maybe not here in Georgia, but I think it's still around. I think somebody is calling. Hello, who is this?
Hey guys, it's BK. How you doing?
Hey BK, well, we're doing okay. I've had better days with my internet provider, but I'm doing okay.
I just want to say I appreciate y'all having me on your show right before you broke for Easter. I had a ball being on.
Oh, well, you're welcome to come back anytime. I mean, even though we don't talk a lot, you're welcome to come back anytime. I have no problem with that.
I appreciate a chance. Called in Saturday, talked to us a little bit, told us what y'all were doing today. We gave you a big.
Now he did text me yesterday and say you were on, but I was busy working in the basement, so I didn't get a chance to listen. Do you have archives where you can go back and listen to it?
Yeah, I mean, you guys can. You go back. You use Anchor or SoundCloud or.
Oh, okay.
Tune in.
Any of the podcatchers like Anchor, SoundCloud, and.
Right.
What's the other one? Spotify.
And you're on YouTube, of course, and on
I'm on
fistfulofradio.com right after our show.
Yeah.
The
That's
Nostalgic
right.
Podblast, then BK on the Bear, and BK on
Well,
the Bear. BK on the Air.
Do you have a famous, a dog or anything from a show that we haven't mentioned that you remember?
I haven't listened on. I've only listened on and off, so I don't know what's been mentioned today. But that's why I'm calling. I have two that I want to mention. I did love Lassie, but I didn't get to watch Lassie when it premiered with June Lockhart. I actually caught Lassie in 1974 in its 70s version that Pamela Ferdin was on, the child actress that talked for Lucy, the voice of Lucy on the Peanuts for a while, and she did a lot of acting. But I did see Lassie in the 70s, the version of the Lassie show. But what an iconic dog Lassie is. I would have to put down, if I had to vote what dog in entertainment is the most popular. I mean, I know we got Rin Tin Tin, Benji, all the other dogs, but you got to admit, probably Lassie would be the most popular dog of all time.
Well, Lassie, we mentioned earlier, Lassie was first, introduced to everybody in 1943 with Lassie Come Home, the movie from MGM.
Was that Roddy McDowell?
Yes, and Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah.
That's
a long time ago.
That was 1943 is when Lassie was introduced in that movie, and I think MGM did several Lassie movies after that because it proved to be so popular.
Oh yeah, but Lassie's probably one of the most popular. I did love the Benji films, but the other animal I wanted to mention was Flipper. I mean, I love the Flipper series. They used to show Flipper back to back with the 60s Amazing Spider-Man cartoon on whatever syndicated channel I watched back in Alabama.
Well, I like Flipper
and
too. Those were great shows, and I think they were produced by MGM Television. But yeah, I like those movies. Of course, they had the Flipper movies as well. I watched the TV show all the time. I mean, those were great shows, along with, like we just mentioned, The Lone Ranger. I mean, all those shows I grew up watching as a kid. They just stand out.
There were so many animals in shows that you can remember and watch, but later on, they started replacing animals, obviously, with CGI.
Oh, I know.
They didn't have to use them. And I think that, what was the Harrison Ford film that came out not too long ago with him and the dog? Was it a Call of the Wild?
Call of the Wild. It came out. Actually, Call of the Wild was a remake. The first one I think was made in the 40s or 50s. It was a 20th Century Fox movie.
But the remake doesn't count. It doesn't count.
You remember the one? You remember the one I'm talking about with Harrison Ford?
Yes,
but it doesn't count because it's not a real dog.
But I saw the dog and it just looked weird.
Yeah.
I saw the trailer. I didn't see the movie. I saw the trailer.
I thought they would have done what they normally do, is use a real dog for close-ups and a CGI dog for running and stunts and stuff. But no, it was a completely CGI on that one. Yeah, that was crazy.
No,
that was the thing we said at the top of the show. I said we just talk about real, living and breathing animals, no cartoons, no CGI.
Yeah.
But that was a good one, and I liked Marley and Me, another tearjerker, because earlier Al was talking about Old Yeller, and I think Marley and Me qualifies as that type of movie.
Yes, exactly. And there was one called Milo and Otis, about two dogs that got lost and were trying to get back home, or they were friends or something like that. I remember that one too. But wow, you could do a whole show on. Oh, you are doing a whole show on it. Sorry.
hey, but Barry, do you remember what the dog's name was in Marley and Me?
No, what was the dog's name?
Chance. My name. Anyway, I'm a dog.
I just got a text from Comcast. It says your modem's working now. Type success if working, failed if not.
I think it's time to go to AT&T.
No, I don't know about that.
What happens, Al, if you type a colorful metaphor to them that you can't?
Yeah, I know.
What happens there?
But a dog that was in the movies recently. I mean, were you a fan of the John Wick movies?
Yes, I love John Wick. It's John Wick's puppy, and then the later dog you got.
Yeah, his dog was named Daisy.
Yeah, that's a great animal.
It's a great animal, and I like the John Wick movies. They're the last couple kind of wild, but I liked them all right. But he had that dog Daisy in there.
Well, you guys know some of the movies that come out, they're such stinker movies. Sometimes when they have an animal in them, the animal winds up being the best actor in the film sometimes.
Well, it's just like I mentioned earlier to Chance, the movie The Artist that came out a few years ago. It was a throwback on the silent movies, and they had a terrier in there, and so that was the star of the show.
The Artist was an amazing film. I really liked it.
Oh yeah, it's a great movie, and the terrier, it was the star of the show.
Well, guys, I just want to call in, check in with you, and a great show, and listening as much as I can, and I appreciate everything y'all do, and I'll talk to y'all later.
Barry, thank you, and I will be listening to your show Saturday mornings on WBHF in Cartersville, Georgia, and everywhere after the fact on YouTube.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, Barry. Talk to you
Thanks,
soon.
Chance. We'll go play some pinball this week. I'll call you.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
All right, buddy. Bye.
But no, it's like I said, you know, dogs were they were the star of the show in most of these movies.
And I will play. You guys had mentioned Flipper. Here's just a couple seconds of the Flipper musical theme.
They call him Flipper, Flipper, faster than lightning. No one you see is smarter than he. And we know Flipper lives in a world full of wonder, lying there under the sea.
That's a good theme song.
It is.
I like
I've only seen one episode of that show in my entire life, but my dad, when he was a kid, he
I
loved
watched them all the time. You know, they were.
What was it about? I mean, what was intriguing about it? About a dolphin? I mean, was it the family
It was just
more
so
than
different. You know, they had this. I mean, who has a dolphin for a pet? Basically, I mean, it was just different. It was just entertaining. It was a well written show.
And was it cutting edge underwater photography? Was it a lot of underwater
They had
stuff?
some underwater photography. Yes, of course.
It wasn't just like the sea view on Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea and an obvious swimming pool.
But they had good stories. It was just it was a half-hour show, but it was just fun. I liked it.
I have another quick clip, just a mention of another animal show with a star, title star, Gentle Ben. Remember Gentle Ben?
Well, bears were big in the movies, and one of my favorite movies is The Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean.
Starring Paul Newman.
Directed by John Huston. And there's a scene in the movie where John Huston he's getting old and he's getting ready to die, and he's got a bear in his little cart, and he lets the bear out. And he's the watch bear. And so, his name is Bart. They called him Bart in the movie. And so that's a great movie, and so they called him the watch bear. But his name was Bart. The Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean. You know, and Paul Newman said that was one of his favorite movies.
That's right. You told us. That's great. You mentioned that in the previous Podblast.
I have a 16mm print of it, but it's just
you have two prints.
I got two prints of it, but it's just a fun movie. I really liked it a lot. And Andy Williams sings the song in it.
And Victoria Principal's in it, who I like, from Dallas. Well before
that
Dallas,
was one of her first roles.
Right. She was young and beautiful in that.
Young. Yeah, she's in that. But Judge Roy Bean is a great movie. It's available on DVD.
And speaking of bears and movies, how about a horror movie, Grizzly, shot here in Georgia where we are live?
I didn't care for that.
I kind of like shot in Clayton, Georgia, up north.
That's true. I remember it, but I just didn't care.
Filmed in '75. It's a good drive-in movie. But what's unique about that movie is it's one of the rare movies that shows a child getting killed. He gets mauled and ripped apart by that deadly, hungry grizzly bear.
Well, bears, they live in the wild. That's what they do, you know.
And if you invade their house, you take your chances.
But wasn't there a TV series, something, TJ and the Bear?
BJ and the Bear.
BJ and the Bear, yes.
Do you mind if I play just a second of Gentle Ben? This is just a few seconds.
Go ahead.
All right, while we're talking bears. Who starred in that? Clint Howard, Ron Howard's brother.
Mm-hmm. He wasn't much of an actor, but he was okay.
No,
Clint Howard was okay. He was in an episode of Night Gallery I liked.
Oh, yeah.
Where he could predict when the sun
We watched it
blew
together.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, he predicted the sun was going to explode and go
Yes.
nova and kill everyone on Earth.
Right,
Weird
right.
episode. He did a lot of B movies and slasher horror movies in the 80s to get a
That's
paycheck.
true. But he was kind of cute in the Andy Griffith Show as a little kid every now and then.
He was in
kinda
A Fugitive. He played one of Kimball's nephews along with Bill Mooney.
I mean, truly
Season
Ron
1,
Howard was the star, but he was okay. He just made a lot of lesser movies in my opinion.
Now, if you allow me, on the subject of bears, I have an intro of a show people in Generation X when they were kids loved. And this is narrated by one of your actors you like. All right, what about a movie with Faye Dunaway? Think of the 60s, Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh,
Bonnie and Clyde, who starred, of course,
Warren Beatty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who shot them? Who shot them dead in the end of that movie? It was Denver Pyle, who played the sheriff who
That's
shot him.
right, that's right,
He was
that's
after
right.
him.
Mhm.
Well, here he is narrating the life and times of Grizzly Adams.
Go ahead.
This might be a little loud. I'm just warning you. Here we go.
They call me Mad Jack. And if there's anybody in these mountains that knows the real story of James Adams, that'd be me. So I'm putting it down in writing just the way it happened in hopes of setting the record straight. Now, my friend Adams was accused of a crime he didn't commit. So he escaped into the mountains, leaving behind the only life that he ever knew. Now, that wilderness out there ain't no place for a greenhorn, and his chances of surviving were mighty slim. Weren't no time at all, for he was beaten down, ragged, and nearly starved. Long about then, he come upon a grizzly bear cub, all alone and helpless. Now, Adams knew that little critter couldn't survive without his help, so he started right down that cliff, risking his own life to save it. Now that cub took to Adams right off. And that was when he discovered he had a special kind of way with animals. They just come right up to him like he was a natural part of the wilderness. But that bear cub, he was extra special. As he growed, he became the best friend Adams ever had, and together they became a legend.
There's a world where we don't have to run, baby. There's a time we'll call our own, living free in harmony and majesty. Take me home.
Not a bad song.
Reminds me of John Denver a little bit. So that was Grizzly Adams, and it went on until, God, they had a final movie in 1982. It was like a Christmas movie, and it just had a really tragic ending. I'll leave it at that. Anyone that saw the final Grizzly Adams, it was...
Yeah, I probably watched it, but I just don't remember it.
It's like one of those shows like Little House on the Prairie. In the last TV movie, they blew up Walnut Grove with a bunch of dynamite. I mean, what kind of crappy ending is that? They blew up the town.
Yeah, well...
And it kind of has an ending like that.
It's only a movie.
Now, let's see. Now, you mentioned BJ and the Bear. Here's a quick second of that theme, and here's where he's talking to his monkey, a chimpanzee named Bear. Incidentally, you know who Bear, the character of Bear, the monkey, was named after? Bear Bryant, the winningest coach, and, well, it was at the time in Alabama history. Here it is.
New dreams and better scenes. And best of all, I don't pay property tax. Provide my palace, and off to New Orleans or who knows where. Places new and ladies too. I'm BJ McKay and this is my best friend Bear.
Who started BJ and the Bear? What was that
Greg
guy?
Evigan. Greg Evigan, and this version wasn't the version I wanted because he actually talks. It's muted. This is the music only, but he goes, "Hey, Bears, one of the things I want to do is teach you how to sing. How'd you like that, kid?" And the chimp goes,
I don't know. I don't think the show was on very long.
3 years.
3 years.
It was, and then it was one of Glenn Larson's rip-offs of Smokey and the Bandit. Glenn Larson would take a popular, successful motion picture and convert it to the TV screen. He did it with Battlestar Galactica after Star Wars, and I guess it was kind of a combo of the movie Convoy and Smokey and the Bandit. And that's what BJ and the Bear, and a little bit of Every Which Way You Can and Every Which Way But Loose, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. With the orangutan Clyde.
In the late 70s and 80s, I mean, those shows were popular. Convoy and, BJ and they were just, they were just popular. Everything runs through this, they have a cycle. A cycle that they go through. And, reality shows were in for a while, and now they're kind of on the downside, but, everything has a life.
That's right. Now, here's a quick clip of what I just mentioned. The Clint Eastwood movies, it started with Every Which Way But Loose, and the sequel, Any Which Way You Can. And this is from Any Which Way You Can, and the classic line, "Right turn, Clyde," where he'd punch the orangutan. That's his signal to punch out an adversary. Here we go.
Real good, Chola. You got real good with that one. Shut your hole. Except this time, ain't gonna be no any road.
No, this time it's gonna be a 8 bros.
Right turn, Clyde.
You know, I like Clint Eastwood a lot, but I didn't care for those movies especially. It was okay, you know. It was. I mean, I watched it. It was all right. Just like Bronco and Billy, I didn't really care for that, but I liked it. You know, I could watch it.
I have a film print of that. Bronco Billy McCoy.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see it again, especially. But you know, Clint Eastwood made a lot of great movies, but he made some stinkers too. I guess he needed a house payment, didn't he?
Well, those movies were very popular.
And you got the album up there.
Yeah, behind me, those watching on Facebook Live or YouTube, here is the record album soundtrack. You hold it up for the camera, please, sir. And there's the orangutan Clyde with Clint Eastwood right there on the cover. While you're doing that, am I potted up? I'm going to play a quick clip. There was another monkey on TV on Lost in Space. There was the bloop. Listen to this. Listen to this. Okay.
That's just awful.
That's all I could find. There's no clips because 20th Century Fox, now Disney owns Lost in Space, and you can't find any Lost in Space clips on YouTube. They're all exclusively, they were on Hulu, and now I guess they're going to be on Disney Plus. So that's all I could find was just that little novelty song.
But you know, I didn't care for that stupid monkey on Lost in Space.
Oh, how mean.
I just didn't.
Why?
You
didn't care for it?
It was dumb the way they had the ears on him.
It had to look like an alien. It was a little hat they wore.
I didn't. I thought it was just kind of like,
well, you know,
why?
They also had an ape, a chimpanzee on Battlestar Galactica. And this is interesting. This is a quick little interview. It was supposed to be a robot dog called a Daggett. And in the pilot of Battlestar Galactica, I'm going to try not to bore you too much, Al, but he had a real dog that was killed, okay? And so the child was Boxy, was the character's name. He was devastated by the loss of his dog. So the doctors on the Galactica built a robot animal, and it was really a chimpanzee in a very hot suit. And here's Dirk Benedict and some of the cast of Battlestar Galactica talking about that chimpanzee actor. Here we go.
We had all kinds of performers in that show. We had the Daggett.
Inside that suit was a 3-year-old chimpanzee minky named Eve.
Evie was like a 2-year-old child.
She was brilliant, and she would just do anything and was loving. We were best friends. We were always together.
That chimp could hit its marks better than anybody else.
If there was a specific stunt that had to take place, if the trainers knew about it 3 or 4 days in advance, they would work on it with the chimp every minute that he was not actually being photographed. As long as we didn't have more than 1 or 2 of those a day, he did damn well.
Evie, chin up. Up. Hey, right here. Up. Action.
I do remember the times when that chimp just decided he wasn't going to work at all inside that suit.
398 Baker, take 4.
I always thought Evie should have got the Academy Award for Animals, whatever they have, because it was miserable in there.
She would pop the head off and get tired. It would get hot in there. And it would be the end of the day and we were all tired and wanted to go home and we'd all go, oh my God.
Zap, zap. Come on, Muffet. Muffet, come on.
Here. Evie, here. Let's go. Come on.
How do you make him work? You know, you can take his ears and you can get little robot control things and you can make his ears move. But how do you make him move?
Let's go. Evie, get up.
And we lost more time on the set because of that doggone monkey.
He had to go through some ducting, room to room.
Come here. Here, hold it. Hold it. Sit. Sit. Hold it. Right.
And this might have been the first or second time we had him in there. We got the camera all set and we put the monkey in there and closed the door at the last minute. So I said, okay, open the door. And there was nothing there but the head. He didn't want to deal with this. He just said, that's it. I'm sorry. This wasn't part of his contract, you know.
So, you know, I thought that was a robot. I didn't know that was a chimpanzee in that suit. I thought it was a real
all these
robot.
movies and TV shows, they had animal wranglers to take care of all these animals so they wouldn't get hurt. I mean, they protected the animals more so than they protected the actors, basically. You know, they really looked after them.
And I bet they got the big bucks, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I've got one more quick clip. of another famous dog. This was Maximilian, the bionic dog. It's on a tape. I got
a bionic dog.
There was, in season 3 of the Bionic
Yeah,
Woman.
but it's not a real dog.
It is a real dog. It was a real dog performer, a German Shepherd.
Oh.
And the character, though, was Maximilian. Get it? Max a million.
Okay,
it cost $1 million to turn this dog who'd been in a devastating fire bionic. And it was a character, a gimmick for ratings, and it didn't save the show. The show went from ABC to NBC, and it was the season 3 premiere, a two-parter, The Bionic Dog, parts 1 and 2. Here's a quick clip. It's on my cassette. If you could hit play. And
I thought it was...
No. That's my one more thing. I got you confused.
You have it queued up.
Yeah, it's queued right up if you hit play. Here's a clip of the Bionic Dog.
90 miles an hour. He was the fastest animal alive.
He doesn't like you, does he?
I'm not about to get near that bionic jaw.
Rudy's afraid Max is experiencing bionic rejection.
When he thinks this can happen to me. Lady, your dog's tearing your car apart.
Call security, meet me down at the Jeep right away. We've got to get that dog. I'm going to put him away. I have to do that autopsy.
But what are you going to do when I start to reject you? You put me away too.
Cut.
Okay. No.
So that was like the little trailer before the show. But Maximilian was kind of a gimmick, and actually the ratings were pretty strong for that premiere, but it didn't save the show in the end.
Yeah.
By the way, tonight, speaking of Oscars, that came up. Tonight is Oscars night as we do this live. If you're listening to fistfulradio.com as we go, a lot of people don't care about the Oscars. I don't really care.
I haven't watched the Oscars probably in a few years.
Yeah.
And did you know how California's been locked down for so long? And you have to wear a mask. Well, at the Oscars tonight, they don't have to wear masks.
Oh, they don't?
They don't.
Why? Because they're elite?
I guess.
Well,
They don't have to wear masks.
the thing they do great is the in memoriam, and that's what I'm going to watch for. I'm recording it at home. I'm going to fast forward to that segment to remember those that died. A lot of people have died due to COVID and for other reasons that were very memorable in film
Well, I
and
used to
television.
love to watch the Oscars, and I may watch tonight, but, I'm watching a series on Showtime that I really like called City on a Hill. But, I may tune it in for a little bit.
Well, I like I said, I'm just going to watch that in memoriam. I love that, and sometimes they have really good moving music in the background, and they show great images, and it's usually well edited and well produced. The in memoriam segment. So
I don't remember who passed away. I didn't show this picture of me and autograph of Alan Young.
The star of Mr. Ed.
Yeah.
Look at you. Yeah. Now you're in that photo with him.
No.
Okay, he signed it. Gotcha.
Now he was at a film festival here in Atlanta many years ago. He's since passed away, of course, but he signed that for me, Mr. Ed.
Well, look at you, man.
Yeah, so those were the fun days of going to film shows and collecting films. Before videotape, it was before, you could have movies at home. We had to be a collector of 16 millimeter or Super 8 to watch movies at home.
And we got several comments. It's tough because we had 2 videos going because the internet went down. So let me just see if we're caught up on the comments. And by the way, the phone number is 678-615-7560. We are live right now. If you're listening on Fistful of Radio, we're not live. It's a week after the fact or 6 days after the fact. But we're live right now.
Yes.
If you're looking at us on Facebook, on our page, The Nostalgic Podblast, feel free to give us a call. Let's see. Joseph said, I still love Wizard of Oz, easy for me to say, as an adult. We discussed that earlier.
Yeah.
Love the Brady Bunch. Let's see. Someone mentioned Jaws. Again, Jaws was not a real living, breathing animal. That was a mechanical shark. So Jaws is a good pick. Love the movie, of course.
It's a great movie. One of the best.
But for today's purposes...
Directed by Spielberg.
I think that's what really put him on the map.
It probably did.
He did Duel, the TV movie.
Yeah, I like that with Dennis Weaver.
And did you know he directed, you mentioned this show earlier, Night Gallery, the pilot. He did one of the segments in the pilot.
Actually, he directed more. He did quite a few Night Galleries, actually.
Yeah, he started in TV. So Joseph had mentioned Trigger from Roy Rogers. Yep, and we got to that and covered Trigger.
I'm trying to think if we missed any.
And we still got more to mention, but is there any on your list, Al Hardy?
And I've covered the ones that I thought about.
I've got a couple more in the movies that were good. Let's see here. Yes. How about this one? It's more of a, not that, I keep thinking it's recent, the way time slips away. 1995 was a long time ago. But Before that, I think I'll get to a pig that is beloved.
You talking about from Green Acres?
Yeah.
Arnold?
Yeah. I'm talking about Arnold.
Yeah.
And let's see.
He was an annoying little pig.
Here is some highlights of Arnold the pig on Green Acres.
In fact, if we had a son, we'd want him to be just like Arnold. Yeah, he's got good manners and he's clean.
He's such a comfort to us.
What's that?
Oh, Arnold.
Fred, you know he pays no attention to anybody when he's watching TV.
TV? That ain't a TV, that's a dryer. Arnold! Here's the school bus waiting.
So there you go.
It's really sad. Everybody.
I got it. There, I got it.
Everybody from Green Acres, they're all gone now. Basically, I don't think there's anybody left. Is there?
No, I don't think so. Eddie Albert's gone, the star, and
the last one to pass away,
Eva
the
Gabor,
guy that played Ebb.
Yes, Ebb.
He passed away last, I think.
He did last year.
Last year, yeah.
So that was a good pig. Now that led, I think, to this successful movie, Babe, from 1995.
Babe the Pig. Did they do one or two movies on Babe? I know they did one.
They did at least. Yeah, let me look that up.
I think they.
While I look it up, I'm going to play a little bit of the trailer. Do you mind? Here it goes. Here's the little bit of the trailer.
When I first came to the boss's farm, it was a whole new world to me. Everyone here seemed to know their place. The boss and his wife, the sheepdogs, the sheep, and all the other animals. Well, almost.
We've got to do something about that duck.
Now I just have to figure out where I fit in. I want my mom.
Good heavens. Who are you?
Babe.
There. The little pig's a bit low. He's going to sleep with us.
But Mom, he'll wet the bed. What are you?
You.
Pig. What are you?
I'm a you.
This is the story of a brave soul
Hello, sir. Get out of here.
who is trying to find his destiny.
Can I learn how to work the sheep today?
Get him up, pig.
Remember, you have to dominate them. Bend them to your will. Ruff, 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 ruff.
He knew his path would not be easy.
I'm not sure if you realize how much the other animals are laughing at you.
It's not a duck that thinks it's a rooster. It's a pig that thinks it's a dog.
You should accept what he is and be thankful for it. But now he's determined.
They're sheep. They're inferior.
Oh, no, they're not.
To take care of business
All a nice little pig like you need do is ask.
his way.
Thanks very much. It was very kind of you. A pleasure. What a nice little pig.
From Universal Pictures comes the story of Babe,
You look like an intelligent, sophisticated, discerning young fella. Who, me?
the pig with the gift of gab,
La, la, la.
nerves of steel,
Get out of here, you big buttheads.
and a heart
May I call you Mom?
of gold. Babe.
One movie, and it was a big hit, $63 million domestic.
Yeah, I was working as a projectionist in a theater at the time we played it. I just didn't really watch it, but it looked kind of cute from what I saw of it.
It's cute when you see like how they voiced over. The voiceover artists were excellent, and the way they synced it with the animals and the way it was directed. It was a cute movie.
You wonder how they did that, even with Mr. Ed. You know, when he was speaking, I wonder how they,
especially Mr. Ed back then in the 50s, 60s,
how they
early 60s.
they manipulated his mouth, to make him like he was talking.
Yeah, they did a great job with that, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
Now, how about the Beverly Hillbillies? This is very brief, just a few seconds of Ellie Mae's.
She had all the critters.
She had a menagerie, a virtual zoo at that mansion. Here's just a quick clip of Ellie Mae's critters.
Well.
That's a seal.
I know it hurts your ears, Duke. Pretty soon me and you's gonna take a nice long walk outside.
These your cookies, Pearl, that I found in my kitchen?
Yeah, Granny, are you going to whopper?
Of course not. Pearl just made them to give to her music pupils.
I figured that. So I drawed some of my cider to go with them.
Well, now, ain't that nice?
Looks like you two ain't gonna fight no more.
Oh, shucks.
All right. Well, I thought there's more animals in that clip. So you get the drill.
But speaking of the Beverly Hillbillies, they on the Decades channel, they binge played them last weekend.
Oh yeah.
And I really like those shows. I could watch them over and over again. And I had, I digress, but I had one of my favorite characters on the Beverly Hillbillies was Drysdale's wife.
Yes.
She was always a snob.
She hated the Clampetts.
She was just a pillar of society, and so, but she hated the Clampetts, but she was so funny, she was, and I looked her up. She was an actress that, she did a lot of stuff,
And she died during did she not pass away?
She's passed away. I forget when she was.
I'm getting confused with B. Or the lady who went on to do, she was in the cast of Beverly Hillbillies. She was the normal one in the Clampetts. You know what I mean? Like, I forget her name, the character. Someone out there call us and set us 678-615-7560. I mean, the one who wasn't like just a straight up hillbilly, like she knew society. You know what I mean? Like, let me look her up. Beverly Hillbillies. There was a character, and she went on to Petticoat Junction. Remember?
Oh yes,
she wasn't clueless.
Well, actually, in the first early episodes, she lived with the Clampetts.
Right, and then she got spun off.
She got spun off. She lived with the Clampetts.
I'm thinking Aunt Bee or something.
But I liked the series. I've always liked the Beverly Hillbillies. I've got a few of those on film, black and white.
Still, you haven't sold them?
No, I kept them. I don't have that many.
We should watch them.
But I like the Beverly. I watched a bunch of them last weekend on the
Decades binge.
On the Decades.
And Decades is an over-the-air national network here in the United States of America. Check your local affiliate.
Yeah,
it's free. You can pick
every weekend. They pick a show and run it all weekend long. Like last weekend was this weekend Mission Impossible.
Yeah, I'm right. B-E-A.
B. Benaderet.
Played by Pearl.
Pearl. She played B. Benaderet.
Oh, that's her real name.
Yeah, B. Benaderet. She was also
the voice. She played Pearl. I'm all mixed up today.
She was also the voice of Wilma on the Flintstones.
That's right.
Yes.
That's a great tidbit.
And MeTV is taking the Flintstones off at 6. They're putting another show on at 6. I saw a promo for it the other day.
They do that all the time. When the ratings lag, they don't play. They will make a schedule change.
But the Flintstones is May 3rd, I think, is maybe they're moving it to another time slot.
Well, they have different seasons. Summer of Me. They have something called the Summer of Me.
They're putting the Addams Family on at 6.
Okay. And speaking of that, when we played the clip of Ellie Mae's Critters, that music is by Vic Mizzy, who had done the Addams Family music.
Oh, really?
And he also did the music for Green Acres. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway.
That's why they're putting that on at 6 o'clock.
Now we got another famous dog who made a big living in commercials in the 80s. You know what I'm talking about, Al? It was a dog. He was a party animal. Spuds McKenzie. Listen to this.
Oh, the Bud.
Listen to this quick commercial.
Check him out. What a hug.
Get a load of him.
Well, there's a super party animal. His name is Buds McKenzie. With a beach in sight and a cold Bud Light, he's in the party frenzy.
He's Spuds McKenzie, one party-loving, happening dude.
Go Spuds, go Spuds, go. Bye Spuds, call me. Go Spuds, go.
Yeah, that's Spuds. And who announced that? The late, great Robin Leach.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Lifestyles of the rich and fine.
I met him a few times because when I worked at Turner, when I was down at CNN Center, he was there for a while. He did a show called Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
That's right.
I don't know whether it started at CNN or not, but anyway, yeah, I met him a couple of times.
It was syndicated. It was a syndicated show.
But he did some stuff for CNN. It was some sort of entertainment stuff he used to do for them. So.
Well, now who did we leave out? Anybody on your list?
I don't know. It's just like I was trying to think. I've covered everybody I wanted to cover. I'm sure there's other ones that we left out.
I have some here on this list, just mentions like Bart the Bear.
Oh, we did that already.
Yeah, we did that. I'm just reviewing here because we had the video go down. We came back.
We talked about Cat from the Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Mm-hmm.
The cat's name was just called Cat.
And you had Morris the cat, who was a real cat in the 9 Lives commercials,
Yeah.
another commercial famous animal.
Yeah.
Kind of a snob kitty cat.
That was I don't know who voiced that, but it was great.
Yeah, it was.
Of course, Morris passed away a long time ago.
Oh yeah, of course.
But actually, they got 2 or 3. Somebody calling?
Yep.
Let's see. Hello, who is this?
It's Michael again.
Hey, Michael. What's up?
I've got some animals that you left out that I can list for you.
Okay.
Okay, Disney came out with a movie in 1963 called The Incredible Journey, and it starred a bull terrier named Bodger, a Labrador retriever named Laura, and a Siamese cat named Tao.
I have a poster for that movie. I should have brought that one up, too. I have a lot of Disney posters. But, yeah, I do remember that movie. You're absolutely right.
And then ABC had an early 1970s TV series named Longstreet, starring James Franciscus as
That's
a blind
right.
man.
Uh-huh.
His dog was a white German Shepherd named Pax.
Pax. How did you remember that? Did you look that up on Google?
I did.
I just didn't remember that at all. I remember that show, But, yeah, there was, like I said, there was a lot of animals in shows that played a big part. And we tried to highlight some of the bigger ones, but I'm sure there's some that we'll never mention or
And more
think about.
in Modern Family, more recent shows, there's all sorts of critters. And hey, Michael and Al, we got a comment here from Barry, our friend Barry King. He said, "What about Duke in the Bush's baked beans commercials? Remember Duke? And he just passed away, sadly, that dog. But there's a lot. You can't just discount the commercials because there are a lot of memorable commercials.
Remember the old the hound
Don't
dog?
forget Morris, the cat.
We just said that.
I'm
Yeah.
live.
You just missed it. Yeah, we mentioned that. Thank you, though.
Remember, I lost my track. The dog on Hee Haw, the old hound dog that laid around.
It's kind of
on
like
Hee Haw.
Flash. Oh, that reminds me of another one. Flash on the Dukes of Hazzard. That was Roscoe P. Coltrane's dog, Flash.
Yeah.
Hey, Flash.
Yeah. I
James
like that
Best.
show. And that show's not even in reruns anymore, is it? Did they pull it?
I think probably because it's got the Confederate flag on the hood of the General
That's
Lee.
so
and-
crazy.
Yeah.
It was a fun show. I used to like to watch the reruns of it.
I just recently, I bought them all on DVD because it has been pulled. I wanted to have a hard copy of them.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they'll be streaming anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have to put a disclaimer in front of the Muppets, there's no way you're going to see the Duke Boys anytime soon.
Yeah, that's true.
Remember, I'm digressing. Remember when they replaced the Duke Boys with Coy and Vance, their cousins, in a salary dispute that John Schneider and Tom Wopat had with the producers? Anyway, for one season only, they had their cousins come and replace them, Coy and Vance. Anyway.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to watch the show, though. I liked it. It was fun.
It lasted like 8 years, and there was an Alice episode, season 8 premiere, where Boss Hogg and Enos went to the diner, Mel's Diner, because it was both on CBS, both shows, Alice and Dukes of Hazzard. Nice little crossover. And I didn't know about that until I saw it in reruns like a year ago when it was originally on, and I watched that show. I missed that episode. Anyway.
Well, Michael, can you think of anybody else? We are running out of time here.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've tried to highlight as many as we could.
The memorable, nostalgic ones,
Yes.
I know there's more recent ones that we left out, but
the
Marley and Marley and Me, we talked about Marley, and
yeah.
Did the internet go down again?
No.
Michael. Okay, good.
Well, listen, Michael, we're going to wrap up, but thanks for calling, and maybe we'll get together and go to a movie. I want to see that movie, Chaos Walking. It's been out for a while with Tom Holland.
Well, I want to tell you real quick. I happened to be watching Channel 2 News, and afterwards they started having coverage from Los Angeles on the Oscars. And I was going to turn it off. I'm like, I'm not interested. But then they started talking about some of the actors, and Anthony Hopkins apparently has a movie that's going to be included in an Oscar nomination.
The Father. It's called The Father.
And I didn't know anything about its existence. I would have gone to see that.
Well, it's playing in a few theaters. It's playing at the Sandy Springs Cinema and Tap House. It's not playing.
Well, then I think we need to go because we all know who is down at that theater.
Yeah, Bill Tush, but they're showing it. So it didn't play like at the Studio Movie Grill or the AMC close to us, but it is playing or was playing down at the Spring Cinema.
I think a trip down there before it goes out of the theater is in order.
You know, yeah, well, we can do
I'm
that.
all for it.
You know, Anthony Hopkins is a great actor. I really admire the man. He's really good. The only movie he did I hated was Silence of the Lambs. I cannot watch that movie again.
I saw it in the theater.
I did too. I didn't like it.
What about Magic? You ever see that creepy horror movie he did with the ventriloquist dummy?
And Margaret in it too.
What do you think of Magic, Al? Did you see that one?
I like Magic.
You probably projected it. You used to be a projectionist.
I was working at the Midtown Cinema and we played that there.
In Atlanta.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but no, it was. I like Anthony Hopkins. He's a great actor. He was in a movie with Brad Pitt called Legends of the Fall, which was a really good movie. He played their dad. He was really good in that. He was also. I like the movie The Lion in Winter. He made with back in 1968. It was a great movie. He was very young in it, but he was good in that too. Anthony Hopkins, great actor, and he's won some Oscars. Yeah, he's a good actor.
I know I wasn't going to mention cartoons, but I like Charlotte's Web. And you know
that
who did
was
voice
a good one too.
Charlotte's Web.
You know,
I like that movie.
Paul Lynde did voice work in
He
that.
did Templeton the Pig.
Yeah,
I think it was called Templeton.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah.
The Pig.
Was.
Yeah, and that was a good movie too. I like Charlotte's Web.
We could do a whole show on animated animals, getting to the Disney Jungle Book, and 101 Dalmatians. I mean, God,
And
there's so many.
Pamela Ferdin was in that Charlotte's Web too.
Mm-hmm.
Who was?
Pamela Ferdin from she did a lot of she did animation, but then she also did a lot of child actress roles for Disney, and she was in a lot of guest stars. She was real popular back in the 60s and 70s.
Cool, and let's not forget Free Willy. Those movies, another dolphin.
Yeah.
On the big screen.
Oh,
anyway.
yeah. Well, Michael, listen, we'll keep in touch. We're going to wrap things up here shortly, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, great. Sounds good. Bye.
Okay,
Thanks for calling, Michael. We appreciate you.
But no, we covered as much as we could. So we're getting near the end of the show.
Yes.
So.
Do you have any final?
I don't have any final thoughts really.
I think I have one more thing.
You do have one more thing?
Yeah.
And what might that be?
Well, like you don't know, we talked about it in our pre-show. I have a little quick clip from Wheel of Fortune with Pat and Vanna from a couple weeks ago, as we record this, May 2021. Actually, the end of April, but just for the radio, it's May already. Anyway, and what this pertains to is jeans. I have a question for you, Al. When you wear blue jeans, how often do you wash them?
Oh, I'll wear blue jeans 4 or 5 times before I wash them.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't need to. I mean, when blue jeans get to a certain point, then you know they're dirty. They just don't feel right. But you don't need to wash them every time you wear them.
Well, this clip, when I saw Pat and Vanna at the end of Wheel of Fortune a couple weeks ago say this, it made me think. And let's roll a little bit of that audio if we could.
Yeah, we can do that.
Thank you.
Speaking of laundry, first of all, I like doing laundry.
Oh, good.
I think it's
We should come over and do ours sometime.
I like doing my own. Now, anyway, I know somebody that washes their jeans every time they wear them.
Well,
do you wash your jeans every time you wear them?
No, of course not. Who does that? Someone you actually?
I know somebody that does.
I have
don't
some
do it.
jeans that have been washed them so long I have to jump into them because they stand up by themselves.
Well, I don't wait that long.
I figure, I mean every 6 months whether they need them or not. That's my philosophy. Ugh, now don't keep backing off. We'll see you next time. So long.
Bye.
All right. So I wash them every single wear, as I do all of my garments. I'm a clean freak, especially with COVID-19. It just really threw me for a loop when they act like it's abnormal. When Pat's like, well, who does that?
Well, you're the guy. He keeps rubbing alcohol in a spray bottle, and he squirts it all the time.
I did that before COVID-19 outbreak, didn't I?
Have you got your COVID shot yet?
No.
You going to get one?
Would you trying to put me on the spot live?
Yes, I put you on the spot. You need to get one. I got
You've
mine.
had yours?
I had two. I had the Pfizer. I had,
Well, I
had no side effects. I was fine.
That's great. I have no comment one way or the other. I do what you will. I'm glad you did. I'm glad you got vaccinated.
You need to get your shot.
Well, I appreciate it.
You're not a spring chicken anymore. You
never said I was. Never said I was. But I'm definitely not sickly. But I guess anyone can get, because the thing is, this is supposedly more contagious than the flu, right?
That was
supposedly.
I guess I got it. I'm glad I got it.
Would you not agree you were a little more susceptible than say I
I'm
would
older,
be?
yeah.
Because
I mean,
your immune system might not
But
might
I
not be
always
strong.
I always get a pneumonia shot. I get
The flu shot.
a flu shot, and so
And see, I have not been a big flu shot guy. I mean, I'm not trying to open a debate. We're a nostalgia show, but I've never really fooled with the flu shot that much, and I've been good except that one time.
I remember one
I
time
know,
you got the flu and you were sick as a dog.
from Jim Niarchos.
Well, you didn't have to say
Oh,
that.
well, it's okay. It's just he didn't mean to do it. He was just sick. He went into our studio. We're doing a radio show.
Yeah.
Their show, the All Four Seasons Home Show, which is now on Extra in the Atlanta radio market. To give them a little
Extra
plug,
Talk, yeah.
9 a.m. Saturdays. It's a home improvement show. But anyway, yeah, I got sick, and the thing that made me leery, Al, was.
But see, I had a flu shot. I was around him just like you were. I didn't get sick.
Well, here's my point, Al. Piedmont Healthcare, I went to get treatment for influenza after I caught it.
Yeah.
And they kept trying to force the flu shot on me after I'm sick. And I thought that was strange. I thought, it's not
Well,
going to work.
I'm not a doctor, so I don't know if that's going to work or not.
Honestly, they get a kickback, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, because they were giving a guy who already had the flu a flu
Conspiracy.
shot.
You don't know that. You don't know.
Well, I'm telling you, I was sick as a dog, and I'm trying to recover, and they're trying to give me a shot to prevent getting what I already had. I just thought it was strange. Because like when I first checked in, you want a flu shot? I said no. And then when I'm getting the examination, do you want a flu shot? No. Then towards the end, when I'm trying to leave, do you want a flu shot?
But a germaphobe
And then I
like
said,
you,
okay, you're beating me up, and I got one, even though
but
I
a
was sick.
germaphobe like you should get one.
That's true. No. That's true. Anyway, no commentary on that. That's just my opinion.
Well, you can do what you want, but
My body, my choice. Your body, your choice. Everybody can be happy and coexist. But I do wear a mask. I do the right thing, right?
Yeah. Now we were talking about jeans. Do you wash jeans
every time? I said yes, I do. I wash everything every time I wear them. I didn't know I was not normal in that regard. I didn't realize it's considered not normal to wash them every time, according to at least Pat and Vanna.
Do you wear the same underwear every day?
I wash everything after every single wear. That's a little personal, don't you think?
I just asked. If you don't get them dirty, I mean, we can wear them twice, right?
Now, are we allowed to say what our next topic's going to be, or do you want to keep that under wraps? Okay. Because we have a cool topic for next time.
Now, wait a minute. We haven't discussed what we're going to talk about.
Cinema, a certain type of cinema. Yeah, we did.
We'll see. Well, I got to agree on it.
Well, I know. We're a team.
We got to agree.
We're a team. All right. Well,
we got to say goodbye.
Okay, you got our theme ready, buddy?
I do.
Thanks to all of our callers. Thanks to Michael Hopkins. Thanks to Barry King of BK on the Air. Appreciate everyone calling in and contributing and commenting on Facebook. A lot of comments and interaction. We love that. Let us know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Bye.
We're back live with you a little bit. We stopped the official show. What's that?
I stopped the official show. I got to save it.
Now, is it pretty much sandwiched together where you don't have to do any post work so I can get the audio today? Or, I mean, you did a good job, didn't you?
Pretty much.
I mean, you married it well.
It's all there.
Okay. I mean, you don't have to do any post work, is what I'm saying.
No. Yeah. It went an hour and...
Well, that one.
32 minutes.
And the other was like 40-some minutes because we did like a minute or two before.
Total was an hour and 32 minutes.
That's perfect. Good job. And again, sorry anyone out there, man. I like share our show because we want to get as many eyeballs as we can. And we're talking about stuff that people typically are interested in, that are into nostalgia, and we share, at least I do, to different nostalgia pages on the internet and on Facebook. And it's so frustrating when we get going and I see there's a lot of
I'll be right back. I'm going to go.
What's wrong?
I'm going to go get Sonny. Hold
okay. God, I thought maybe you had to go to the bathroom.
No, I don't have to do that.
You act like it was an emergency.
No.
That was kind of sudden. So I share out to all these pages, and people are watching, and then the internet went down, and that's because of... I'm going to mention them because I want to shame them. Comcast Xfinity, they suck.
Yeah.
And I have them at home, too, but... And they're not that they're listening, because we're a tiny show, but there's so much stuff recorded on my DVR.
I just want to show...
Oh, look at... Now, since we're doing a pet show, here's Al's pet, Sonny.
I gave Sonny a haircut the other day.
He's a black Cocker Spaniel, as you can see, and he's clean as a whistle.
Yeah.
He's trimmed. There, yeah. Hey, Sonny.
He'll be 8 years old in June.
He's such a good dog, and he never goes in the house. He's always hungry, like all dogs.
Yeah.
And he's just a sweetheart.
It's his supper time, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a sweet boy.
He's a good dog.
He's a good dog.
I really like your poster. Thank you for bringing that up, Old
Yeah.
Yeller. And I thought this was a fun show, Al. I really do. I think it was a good topic. I know you were not wild. Let's tell the people. You were not wild about this topic. You said,
I was
I'm not
not
interested.
keen on doing it, actually.
Well,
but,
you thought all my clips were going to be a bunch of clips of dogs barking and
stuff.
animal noise. No. No, I wanted to play the themes and clips. It's really about the humans and the human interaction with the animals. But one thing I don't think I mentioned on the show, I wonder if I guess the animal trainers got all the money.
I guess.
Like
I don't
Benji. I mean, Benji was the star of that movie.
That is true.
But it's a dog, so what do? I guess, obviously, is there an agent? Does the animal trainer have an agent? How does that work?
I'm sure
I should have
they do.
researched that.
The owners have an agent with their animals.
I guess that's it. Just like parents with child stars.
Yeah.
Like they have a trust fund for when the kid hits 18, and then they can have access to their money as long as it hasn't been squandered, like Gary Coleman's parents allegedly did.
You know, there was an episode of the
Stole his money.
Andy Griffith show where they had a bunch of dogs. Remember? The town was
Listen to your dog thumping. He's scratching for a flea or something. Hear that? It was picking up on your mic.
He doesn't have fleas.
No, I know, but he was thumping. He was scratching.
I pay a lot of money to keep fleas away.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to imply he has fleas. I'm just saying he was
he didn't have
scratching.
fleas.
He was scratching. I heard that thumping. But I
Dogs
threw
do
you
that.
off. What were you saying?
There was an episode of Andy Griffith where they had a bunch of dogs or something, and Barney was trying to control them. I can't remember the episode. It was funny. I don't know why I thought about that. Let's see.
Andy Griffith. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
Remember, there was a bunch of kind of tightening stuff up.
No, good. Do the post work while we're sitting here jaw jacking. That's great. Well, now things are starting to get back to normal. In our state, things are opened up. Florida's opened up. We're in the South, and it's good to see. It's good to see as more people get vaccinated or whatever, get more.
Well, the governor says that you don't have to wear a mask unless you want to. Now, if a place of business wants you to, I suppose, but you don't have to wear one.
Yeah, it's their house, their rules, right?
It's not mandated. You actually, but so.
Remember the sign along with the no shirt, no shoes, no service? Yeah. There was always a sign that says, "We reserve the right to refuse service to anybody."
Well, yeah, it's a business. They can do what they want,
I don't think you can get away with a sign like that these days. We reserve the right to refuse service to anybody. That's discrimination. I mean, it's their business. I get it. You can, but man, I don't know. Today's times are just kind of tough. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Chad. No.
What is that? Oh.
No, it's just checking something.
That's cool. Let me see if anybody chimed in on Facebook.
I think we're going to watch a movie.
Yeah, we are. Monster. We can't say what we're watching, can we?
No. It's a fairly new movie.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Too new.
What show number is this?
Let's... Hold on, buddy. Hang on. Let me just go to our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is The Nostalgic Podblast. And our Facebook is The Nostalgic Podblast with a C. It sounds like I'm saying nostalgia. The Nostalgic
What show number is it?
Okay, I'll answer your question. Here I go. This is, let's say 57. 57. 57. Very good.
Okay.
And our 2-year anniversary is coming up in June of 2021. 2 years
That's
of the
right.
Nostalgic Podblast.
I can't believe I put up with you for 2 years.
Well, I tried, like, when you're not in the mood to do a show, I tried to do one solo last time, and it's tough, man, by myself, because I have to be the phone screener, I have to do the clips, and the clips sound crappy. I can do the calls okay. The calls sound all right. I've sort of come up with a system where I can have calls actually have decent audio, but the clips, I'm still struggling with that. But it's nothing like your studio. It's always nice to be in Al's Place studio. It's the best. And I forgot to turn on the beacon. Shame on me. Well, we're in flight, like the Jupiter 2 in the background on Lost in Space.
Yeah, it's on now.
There's that hum. When I plug in my laptop, it sometimes has a hum through Al's board.
I don't know what it is. I mean, it's just...
It comes and goes. So, God, it's almost summertime. I mean, the kids are going to get out of school. There's graduations coming up. I guess we'll have, quote-unquote, normal graduations again, at least in our state.
Yeah, I guess.
And California is waiting until, what, mid-June to open up? 2021?
I guess.
Man, that's weird.
No, June 15th.
Mid-June?
Yeah.
Yeah.
June 15th.
I
They'll be
said
fully
that.
open. I mean, the theaters are open but half capacity or whatever, movie theaters and
Right.
stuff. But they can. I think they're going to be fully open June 15th.
Let's not forget our friend Jim Gossett. Should have mentioned him before. Newsmakerline.com. He's got a show coming up May 8th, 2021, right off of Delk Road. Right off of Delk Road in the Cobb County area. It's always a great time. Great comedy show. He's so talented. He sings, comes up with all original material. So check him out.
But it's never on my side of town. It's always on the other side
And
of town.
people on the south side want him to come there as well. He doesn't go to the south side anymore, but I think he's working on that. Working on going to McDonough or Noonan.
Needs to spread out.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, I'd give you a ride if you want to go. I'm going May 8th. I'm going.
Okay.
And Barry's going too. You're welcome. Do you want to come? Maybe I could get you a ticket.
Well, I'm sure I could get a ticket.
Don't be so sure. They might be sold out. But
well, I mean, you know.
Are you interested in going? I don't even put you on the spot.
I'll think about it. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah. I'll see. That's too far away.
Well, if you had a ride, I'm sure. And by the way, Michael's offered to see the movie. I'm sure he'd pick you up. You do not like to drive, sir.
I do not like to drive, but I did. You know, it's funny when I was a teenager or younger. I did. As I get older, I don't drive unless I absolutely have to.
And you hardly have any miles in your car, and your car is a 2015 model, right?
2016.
2016.
Well,
Mine's 2015.
It's got 38,000 miles on it.
That's low.
5 years old.
That's low. Because the average is, I think, Jeff Logan, my buddy who's in the car business, says, I think 10,000 miles is average per year.
I drive about maybe.
Most people do more than that.
Running around 50 miles a week. At that.
50 miles a week.
Yeah.
Wow. But when you were at Cumulus with
when
me...
I was at Cumulus, driving up there, I put about 42 miles a day on the car.
Wow. A day?
A day.
Round trip?
Yes.
I'm about 27 miles each way from you, because I live in Cobb.
Yeah, but you don't come up here every day.
No, I'm
Thank goodness.
I'm not complaining. I'm just making comments while we're talking about mileage and stuff.
Oh.
I'm sure everyone's just enthralled with our conversation about our cars and mileage and crap like that. But I guess we'll wrap on our live feed. Let me see if anyone's saying anything. And I'm going to watch, I will watch the In Memoriam Oscar segment tonight.
Yeah, I'll watch some of it.
So we got a comment. Let's see.
I'll watch some of it.
How about the apes that worked with Clint Eastwood and on The Fall Guy? Yes, I did mention The Fall Guy. That's the same orangutan. Disler Charles, yes. We did mention Clyde, the orangutan from Every Which Way You Can. I'm sorry, Every Which Way But Loose and Any Which Way You Can.
Right.
And that same orangutan was in a Fall Guy episode with Delta Burke, season 2. I have it on film. They brought him back, and with Clifton James. Now you know Clifton James from the James Bond movies.
Yes.
He was that sheriff who was off color.
I remember. Yeah.
And he was playing a sheriff. He got typecast as a sheriff in that Fall Guy episode from season 2. And Denny Miller was in it, who got a big start. He was a stuntman at first. He was on Gilligan's Island. Do you know who Denny Miller is? You'd recognize the face.
I'm sure if I saw his face.
He was a big like strongman Tarzan type actor. And,
I'm sure if I saw.
But anyway, what was that episode called? Let me pull it up. But getting back to Clifton James, he played the sheriff in Superman 2 after he'd done the 2 James Bond movies. Is that your phone? Let's see what's going on.
Hello, who is this?
Now, I worked with Bobby Barosini.
Who
trained Clyde the orangutan.
Really?
And all the chimps and everything from the movies Clint Eastwood was in, not the chimps. But
you never told me that.
Yeah, I worked with him. At Busch Gardens, the old country. And he beat those animals.
I did. You never told me that.
Sure did. He sure did. So he was not a good person. So,
really?
Oh.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
And I was caught between the main curtain to the stage, and then there was a back curtain, and I got in between the two. I opened the curtains for him, and the smell would knock you out.
Really? I guess he didn't use that good old body wash, did he?
No, he didn't. Anyway, it's funny because like I said, he was not good to those animals. So
well, that's not good.
I have no respect for him whatsoever. So.
What was that guy that had the lions? He's in jail now or something? He had an issue.
Well, I didn't keep up with that. Was a Netflix series.
Oh yeah, because he ended up in jail for some reason. You know, they
Yeah,
said
he
he
did.
wasn't
Yeah,
a,
he did.
you know, so, but anyway,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. How
Yeah,
was
he
that,
did.
how was that, barbecue you had?
It's still cooking.
Oh.
All
Well.
right, I'll let you go. I gotta go start. I'll
All
talk
right,
to
man.
you later.
All right, call me later. Bye.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Tom called in.
Mighty Myron was the fog episode with the orangutan, whatever. And that is sad to hear about mistreatment of animals.
Yeah.
And that was the complaint against the Shriner Circus. I shouldn't say that because they do a lot of good work for
Well,
children.
the Ringling Brothers and
But-
Barnum and Bailey Circus, they
But the tigers, they drug them allegedly.
well, and then they did away with the elephants too because of
PETA.
Yeah.
Well, it's because of pressure. I think there was a state, I think it was California. No, it was Washington State that said you can't bring the circus here. You can't bring the animals here. That's what I read years ago. That was like phase one of the demise of the
I used to go to
classic-
the circus as a kid. Have you ever been to the Ringling Brothers and
Of
Barnum and Bailey
course,
Circus?
all the time growing
Yeah,
up.
I've
And
been
the last
to
time
that.
was like maybe 6 years ago because I knew it was going to
Well,
be the
they
last
used to have
time.
it downtown at Phillips Arena, which
Yeah.
is now State Farm.
And in
Arena.
Gwinnett, at the Gwinnett Arena. In more recent
The
years.
Barnum and Bailey? Was
Yeah,
that
they would
here?
do both. They would start downtown. Yeah, I saw them there in Gwinnett. At the Gwinnett Arena.
Well, Barnum and Bailey's out of business. They're
Right.
gone. Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah, I think when they lost the elephants, that really was a death blow to their ticket sales.
Well, the only little circus I know is Cole Brothers. You know, they go around to malls and parking lots and
Cirque du Soleil kind of put a nail in the coffin of because it was more sophisticated, more
It's
dance,
sophisticated,
more art.
but they're mainly in Vegas. But you know,
But they have come to Atlantic Station, you know.
Yeah, they've been here
in Atlanta. They
I've
go
never-
on tour.
I've never been to one, but I like to see it.
I
sometime.
did when at Cumulus. I got some tickets that were left over, and we went and had a good time.
We?
I mean, I don't remember who I went with, but we had a good
You
time.
didn't invite me. I was at Cumulus. How did
I don't
get
think
tickets?
we were that tight then. It was like early on, you know. Like I liked you. I knew you. I didn't know you collected film yet. You know what I mean? Like we didn't. I didn't
Yeah.
start loaning you my films, and we didn't get tight. So at that point,
Oh, I don't remember.
it was early. It was like in 20. It doesn't matter.
Didn't invite me. That's okay. If you got free tickets.
I got tickets all the time, man.
Yeah, you got tickets to the Braves games. I never win either.
Well, that was for clients, and those are $500 seats behind home plate,
well.
all inclusive, and that was hard to get. And
I'd
you
have,
had to have a
I'd have
special
gone
card.
with the 500. You get all the food and all that stuff. that they
Everything
had.
and the alcohol,
Yeah,
anything
well.
you wanted, it was all included.
Yeah.
Yeah, all inclusive.
So, but I know it was probably for clients.
It was. And I just had to go. They twisted my arm and said, "Well, Chance, you have to go too. You have to attend." So
Think about you. You
I'm
live
gonna
close by. You could walk home.
I know. I did one time.
Yeah.
All right.
Because you were drunk.
Oh,
yeah, that's
man.
why. Yeah. Had to
Well,
leave your car.
If we left out any famous animals, let us know. I know there was probably a bunch in commercials and more recent ones, like I said, Modern Family and some Netflix shows that I left out. But I wanted to stick to the nostalgic older stuff.
I always like the camel and
Joe Cool?
No, not
Oh.
the camel. Hump
That's not-
Day in the Geico commercials.
Yeah.
I like those.
I was like the Cavemen, but that's another story. The classic Cavemen, and they had a short-lived TV show, The Cavemen.
I don't remember that.
It was in the Geico. It was one of the first funny Geico commercials. Anyway, even a caveman could do it.
I don't
Save
remember-
money on car insurance.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, the Cavemen. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got to feed Sonny. It's his
Okay.
dinner time, and if we're going to watch a movie, we got to do that.
All right.
Thanks for watching,
See you next time.
and I'll see you next time. Bye.